morning, everyone. How are you guys today? Good. Just a quick announcement. Next week is our final Stories in the Park. It will be the Jolly Pops, the music band. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if it happens to rain, the backup location will be the Hutchinson Event Center. So watch Facebook. We'll announce it on there, or our website, or call. So today we have Rachel with us. She's a naturalist. She's going to read some stories. All right?
Hello, thank you. So a naturalist is someone who loves to be outdoors. And they love to learn things, and they love to explore. So even though we're inside today, I'm going to tell you guys about some stuff outside. And when I was about your age, I would go to the library and do story time just like you all. And my favorite books to check out were books about bugs. Like this book I checked out from the library here, it's so interesting. It's like you wouldn't want to live without bugs. Some of you might think bugs are creepy, but they are very, very important. And Elizabeth said that my name is Rachel, and my hero's name is Rachel, and on her book, she's got a butterfly just like me. This girl's name is Rachel Carson, and she was a super important person. She cared about her world, and she explored, and she paid attention to what was happening around her. And before I was born, she died. And when she was getting older, she wrote a very special book called A Silent Spring. And A Silent Spring was all about the spring that she worried would come when we wouldn't hear the birds making noises. Because when she was little, all of the eagles were disappearing. This is another book of mine that I absolutely love. I love learning about the eagles. Have any of you seen the eagles across the river? There's a nest with baby eagles in it. So back when she was small, she paid attention and she helped write a book. Actually, she wrote the book, but she helped educate everyone that it was important to protect our world by not spraying like bug spray on everything, because the bug spray gets in the water, then the bugs eat the bug spray, and the fish eat the bugs, and then the birds eat the fish, and then the birds got sick. So this book is at the library here, and you can check this one out too. I'm not going to read this one today, but I thought I'd show you a little baby bald eagle. Isn't that cool? So since the bald eagle starts small and we start small, I'm going to read the first book called Everyone Starts Small. It's by Liz Garton Scanlon. Everyone starts small. Everyone starts small in seed or sky or rocky bed. Everyone starts small and then grows. The sun grows beams and grass grows blades, and cloud cannot contain herself. Sometimes she rains, doesn't she? Then things really get going. Everyone sprouts and bursts and hatches and spreads. Especially tree. Tree reaches and widens from roots to branches, from barks to little buds that grow leaves. It's pretty incredible. Water grows too, tumbling end over end, picking up speed along the way. It's not a race, says tree. But water keeps rushing towards the sea, and tree keeps stretching up towards the sky. Grass and sun and bug and berry rise and ripen too. Everyone finds their way and their place. Everyone gets sweeter and brighter and hardier. But wind, whoa, says tree. Wind grows stronger. Whoa, and stronger still. The sun grows hot, too hot. So do tree and grass and bug and berry. They grow hot and windswept, and drier and drier and drier. Fire grows hottest of all. There's not a thing in the world anyone can say to that. Except rain. What we had last night, right? The rain is wet. Rain calms everyone down. Oh, thank you, says tree. You're welcome, says rain. I'm tired, whispers fire. It turns out everyone is. Half the world, it seems, lies down to sleep. Tree heaves and sheds and aches from the inside. It's hard not to just give up. But soil holds on tight and still. See the soil underneath the grass here? Everyone stays like that for a long while. During the wintertime, you don't see anything that we see right now, like the grass and the plants, right? The tree feels a little lonely, but deep underground, the roots and seeds and threads of life tangle and twist together, fed by soil and wind and water, by sun and rain, and even fire. They tangle up together and wake up and burst open. They start small, and then they grow together all over again. It's not a race, says tree, even as everyone rushes and rises and stretches and blooms. Everyone wins, says tree, and there's not a thing in the world anyone can say to that. The end. So we all start really small, but we can make a big difference, just like my hero Rachel. She started out really small, but she made a big change in this world. So my next book I'm going to read is about another bug. This bug is a bug I love. It lives in my garden, and it is so cool. It has superpowers. It's got a jaw that's got sharp little bumps on it, kind of like teeth, and whoops, I have it upside down, and it eats mosquitoes. It's called a dragonfly. So this book's going to ask, are you a dragonfly? No, you guys are so smart. So, Are You a Dragonfly by Judy Allen and Tudor Humphreys. Are you a dragonfly? You already answered that, right? If you are, your mother laid her eggs in the stem of water plants. You swam out of one of them, and so did a lot of others, just like you. You are very small, and you are very hungry. And guess what? You can breathe water through the end of your tail. Do you know anything that breathes through their tail? A dragonfly does. Eat and grow. Eat tiny water creatures. You have a special grabber for catching them. It's called a mask because it covers half of your face. Creep up on your prey, then shoot out your mask and grab it. There's one right here. It's really hard to see, but this little bug has got a little grabber. Good. Eat and grow until your skin is so tight you have to take it off. Then eat and grow some more and do it again and again and again. Don't worry, there'll always be new skin underneath. Maybe some of you have heard that snakes shed their skin. A lot of bugs shed their skin too. Now that you've grown larger, you can eat larger food. Try a tadpole or even a small fish. Dragonflies can eat fish or little baby frogs. That's really wild. But be careful. There's plenty who would like to eat you. Beware of water beetles. Water beetles pounce. Beware of ducks. Ducks dive and they're big. See the duck looking through the water at you? 2 years have passed. How many of you here are 2? So anyone who is 2 would be as old as the dragonfly lived underwater. So now the dragonfly, after 2 years, crawls up a plant stem into the air. You do this at night so birds don't see and eat you. You hold on tight as you dry. Your skin splits open, and slowly, slowly, you climb out of your old skin. First, you pull out your head free, then you pull your legs free. You flop over backwards and have a rest. See it resting there? Now lean forward, grab your old skin, and pull your whole body out. Guess what? Now you can breathe air through the tiny holes on the sides of your body. So they're not breathing out of their tails anymore, they're breathing out of their sides. That's kind of weird. You're a dragonfly. At first you're pale and crumpled, but your beautiful colors will come and your 2 pairs of wings will straighten out. You're a fantastic flyer, just like a butterfly. But they're even better at flying than butterflies. They can fly fast, you can hover, you can even fly backwards. You have enormous eyes. You can see all around you all the time. You can see what's behind you, in front of you, above you, below you, and beside you. This is very useful when you're looking for food. This is also very useful when you are dodging hungry birds and avoiding spider webs. You're a fierce hunter underwater, and now you are a fierce hunter in the air. Hunt over ponds and streams and slow-flowing rivers. Hunt over marshes and in forest. Hold your legs out in front of you to catch your prey. Hunt midges, those are like little gnats, and mosquitoes, flies, wasps, and they even eat small butterflies. When you catch something, you eat it. You are a hawker. You hunt while you're flying. This dragonfly is a darter. It sits still until it sees its prey, and then it darts out and grabs it. This is not a dragonfly at all. It's called a damselfly. It's thinner and lighter and slower than you. It likes to pick the little insects off leaves and flowers. Now look around you, okay? If you and all of your friends look a little like this, or this, or this, you are not a dragonfly. You are a human child. You can't fly, you can't breathe water or air underwater, and it's very unlikely that you have a mask attached to your face. Some of you might have glasses like me, but not a mask. But you can do a lot of things that dragonflies can't do. You don't have to keep taking your skin off. You don't have to eat midges and mosquitoes. And best of all, you'll never, never, ever be attacked or eaten by a duck. So my next story that I'm going to read to you all is about a bumblebee. Okay, The Bumblebee Garden by Dawn Casey and Stella Lim. Oh, look at, there's pretty flowers and more strawberries. This book is much bigger. It was the very beginning of spring. Ben, this little boy here with the blue, and Grandpa were busy in their garden. Look, Grandpa, Ben pointed, a fat, fuzzy bumblebee. Ziggity-zag, ziggity-zag. Bzzz-zump. The bee peeked into a little hole in the earth. Ah, said Grandpa, a queen bee looking for somewhere to nest. The wind blew. Snowdrops, those are those little white flowers here, they shivered. Isn't she cold? Asked Ben. Grandpa smiled. Her thick coat keeps her warm. Ben buttoned up his warm coat. Me too. Outside, the rain was falling, just like it is today. Pitter-patter, splish-splash. Inside, Ben was playing, softening beeswax in his hands. So beeswax is kind of like Play-Doh. Have you guys ever played with Play-Doh? Yeah. And rolled little worms or made little pots? Yeah, Play-Doh is fun. So this little boy, Ben, he rolled a good long worm. Grandpa, said Ben, where do bumblebees go when it rains? Well, by now the queen will have found a little hole in the ground. She'll be warm and dry inside her nest today. Just like us, said Ben. Just like us, said Grandpa. She keeps her food in a little wax pot so that even on rainy days when it's too wet to fly, she has plenty to eat. Ben coiled his wax, like his Play-Doh, around and around. There, he said, I made a pot too. The pot looks just like that little bee's pot, doesn't it? One day, Grandpa and Ben had a picnic in the garden with Ben's baby sister. There's his baby sister, Hannah Mae. Ben watched the queen bee fly out of her nest under the hedge. She flew over to the daisies, these little white flowers, and back again. What is she doing, Grandpa? Well, said Grandpa, Inside her nest, the queen laid her eggs. Out of each egg comes a little larva. A little larva is like a little worm. So bees lay eggs, and they have like little caterpillars just like the butterflies do. That's interesting. They're small and plump and wiggly, like Hannah Mae, his little sister. Grandpa laughed. Yes, a little like Hannah Mae. The queen is collecting pollen from the flowers to feed the babies. Ben nodded. He passed Hannah Mae the dish full of good things to eat. Num, num, num. Sometime soon, said Grandpa, when the larvae have grown big and strong, each one will do something very special. What, Grandpa? Each little larva will spin itself a silk cocoon. Ben found a blanket. He took one end and gave the other to Hannah Mae. She held on tight. Now spin, said Ben. Whee! Hannah Mae spun around and around. The blanket wrapped round around her until plump, she sat down laughing. Look, Grandpa, said Ben. Hannah Mae is a cocoon. By summertime, there were lots of busy bees. Where have they all come from, said Ben. From cocoons, of course, said Grandpa. Inside their cocoons, each little larva turned into a bee. The bees feasted on the flowers, sipping the sweet nectar. Zip, zip, sip, sip. On one white blossom, a bumblebee hummed. Look, Grandpa, said Ben. On her back legs, little yellow balls. You can kind of see them right here. Ah, you've spotted the bees' pockets. Kind of like I got pockets. Bees have pockets on their legs. So whenever they go to a flower, that stuff gets stuck in their pockets. She fills them with pollen to feed to her baby sisters in the nest. I know, said Ben. Let's give our berries to my baby sister. He's a nice big brother, isn't he, that Ben? The strawberries were sweet and juicy. Hannah Mae was very hungry. Squeeze, squash, slip, slurp. You know, said Grandpa, we only have these berries because of the bees. What do you mean? Asked Ben. Well, when the bees visit flowers, they carry pollen from one flower to another. The pollen helps turn the flowers into fruits. Ben took a bite of his strawberry. Thank you, bees. Ben was quiet for a while, thinking. Grandpa, the bees feed me, so could we feed the bees? Grandpa grinned. He nodded his head. Yes, we can. At summer's end, Grandpa and Ben worked side by side. They cleared the ground, they dug, and they raked. Grandpa held out a rustly paper bag. They're wildflower seeds. In winter, the seeds will dream, and in spring they'll grow, and in summer they'll flower and give their nectar and pollen to the bees. Ben sprinkled the seeds on the soil. Very gently, he covered them over with a fine blanket of earth. Pat, pat, pat. Night, night. Sweet dreams. Winter came. By supper time, the sun had set, and by bedtime, the stars were bright in the sky. Grandpa looked out at the garden. All the bumblebee queens are fast asleep now, he said, hibernating till spring. Zzz. Ben snuggled into his blanket. I like hibernating too. Day by day, the year turned around. Winter became spring. In earth, the seeds woke up. So did the queen bees. The wildflowers put down their roots and sent up shoots. The queen bees found nests and laid more eggs. Fat buds swelled, so did the wiggly larva. By summertime, that's what we're in now, is summertime, the garden was bright with flowers, a feast for the bumblebees. Bzzz. So this is what's called a life cycle. I'm not gonna read this all to you because I just told you the whole story. The whole year went around and those bees were very important. That's awesome. This book is called Light Up the Sky, Firefly by Sherry Mabley Bestor. Ooh, look at all those green lights. Light up the sky, firefly. Pitter patter, drizzle drip. Summer rain, there we go with the rain again. It's cooling the earth. The bees buzz and the birds glide. A firefly finds a place under the leaves that blanket the ground. She begins to lay her eggs. 1 plop, 2 drop,
3, plop, drop, plop. So the little eggs that the fireflies lay, they actually glow in the dark too. So if you are really careful and go outside at night and look underneath the leaves, you might be able to see these glowing. That would be really amazing, wouldn't it? Under the leaves, the eggs lay still. For the baby fireflies inside the shells, it's time to grow and begin to glow. Day ends and begins again. Weeks go by. Finally, the eggs hatch. Out crawls one, then another and another. Oh my, it's a baby firefly. The firefly larva, that's the little baby, it's hungry. He begins to hunt for food. He finds a slug to eat, squish. And he eats more, squish. And even more, squishy, squish, squish. He grows and grows longer. And then the days grow shorter and winter comes. Snow will cover all those leaves, but the firefly larva stays safe underground. In the ground, under the snow, the larva is still growing. He sheds his casing and grows more and sheds it again. Kind of like that dragonfly was shedding its skin. So does the firefly. Finally, spring comes. The seeds sprout, the flowers bloom. The baby firefly is ready to make his final change. But first, he builds a nest. He settles inside, and on the outside of the nest, everything seems the same. But on the inside, everything isn't the same at all. Kind of like when you were in the cocoon. It was transforming. When he's ready, out he comes. Oh my, it's a firefly! During the light of day, fireflies keep low to the ground. When the sun begins to set, they climb higher up on plants. And when the sky turns black, the fireflies launch. They use their strong wings to fly into the inky sky. Fly high, firefly. Uh-oh, a bird tries to eat this firefly. But the firefly squirts out a white liquid. Ick. Nice try, but not this firefly. During their time in the sky, the fireflies light up. Blink, blink, twinkle, blink, blink. They blink with their own rhythm, like a silent song. The sky is filled with flashing fireflies. They twinkle like faraway stars. Light the sky, firefly. The twinkling and blinking tells some fireflies to stay away. Blink, blink, twinkle, blink, blink. The twinkling and blinking tells some fireflies to come close. Blink, blink, twinkle, blink, blink. So they communicate with light. I don't think they make any noise. This twinkling and blinking firefly attracts a female. Blink, blink, twinkle, blink, blink. In time, the females are ready to lay their eggs. Pitter patter, drizzle drip. Summer rain cools the earth. Bees buzz, birds glide. A firefly finds a place under the leaves that blanket the ground. Under the leaves, the eggs lay still. For the baby fireflies inside the shells, it's time to grow and begin to glow. For the adult fireflies, it's time to go. Bye-bye, firefly. The end. So the last story I have is called The World is Ours to Cherish, A Letter to a Child by Mary Ananias Hegler. Look at all those pretty critters and flowers and the bees. There is magic all around you. She looks happy, doesn't she? You can see it when the sun rises in the morning. You can feel it when the rain falls from the clouds, just like today. Oh, look at, he's hugging a fish. Fish are very important too. There is magic in the way fish are born to swim and bees are born to fly. Oh, those bees look very happy too. You are part of this magic. Your smile, your laugh, your heartbeat. This world will always be beautiful. It will always be magical. But the world you are growing up in is so different than the world I knew. The ocean has more water, the sky has more storms, and the land has more fire. I want you to know how much has changed so you can see how much there is to cherish. Cherish means to hold something really important, and kind of what I was talking about before about trying to make a nice place for all the critters to live. Because we're critters too, we need a place to live. Look it, there's a little dog, and he's cuddling his critter. I want you to cherish the fireflies who light up the night sky, and the birds who sing to welcome the morning. So I didn't talk about birds much except for that eagle in the beginning. But every morning I go and I take my dogs for a walk, and I usually whistle, unless if I'm a little bit sad. And when I'm sad, there's this red bird called a cardinal, and it comes and it flies down and it starts whistling to me, and it makes me happy, and then I whistle back to the bird. Just kind of like this bird is whistling. You guys can sing to the birds too. You did, they're beautiful. I want you to cherish the wind that tickles your cheek and the rainbow that peeks out from behind the clouds. Maybe if you guys look really close, you might see a rainbow today after all that rain. Cherish the breeze that cools you on hot days. Cherish the trees that protect you from the wind. Cherish the sunshine and remember it during storms. All this beauty, all this magic is yours. You belong to it, and it belongs to you. Take better care of it than anyone else ever has. The world will never stop changing, but you will change it too. You won't do it alone. We'll build a whole new world together. Do you know what this is in the middle here? Those are called windmills. So the wind creates energy for us. And these black things over here, those are called solar panels. So the sun hits them and they make energy for us too. And oh, don't forget all these people, they have plants. I bet they're planting the plants. So the bees and birds and butterflies all have more things to enjoy. A world where we share each other's joy and carry each other through pain. Looks like they had too much rain. Looks like a flood. A world where we care for our planet the same way we care for each other. There will be less you and I and more we. We'll build a world where we take the magic we have and use it to make more. And that's the end. I love this book. It makes me feel so hopeful that we can make a better change to our world and take better care of it. I hope you guys all enjoyed coming today, and I hope you guys all learned something. Maybe you learned that there's actually glowing eggs out there. That's pretty cool. Maybe tonight you might go and wait for the sun to start going down and see if you can spy some of those fireflies. But I would like to ask you not to catch the fireflies. And same thing with the little caterpillars that turn into monarchs. If you can just leave those caterpillars be, they'll do a lot better than if we try to take them inside our house. So that's part of being a naturalist, is trying to talk to people and encourage them to just take good care of what's around them and keep learning. So if you want to, you can go look for some cool books like these. Almost all of these I got from the library here. And just never stop learning and being curious about your world, okay? Thank you for coming today.